Welcome all of you class. I am Durgesh Kumar Pandey and class I am going to explain a chapter. The name of this chapter is the executive class. The name of this chapter is executive. And class, in this chapter I am going to explain a topic. The name of this topic is the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Class, in the part of executive, the most important thing is Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. President is the chief executive. Class, President is a chief executive, but the most important and real executive is the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. Class, there is no Council of Ministers without Prime Minister. The process of election. After the election, which party got the majority in the Lok Sabha, they first choose their leader, and this leader will become the Prime Minister. And this Prime Minister choosing the different person from their own party and make them cabinet ministers, minister of state and deputy minister according to their seniority, according to their political importance. Or Prime Minister chosen as a cabinet, as a minister of state and the deputy minister. Class, when Prime Minister was take oath, he was giving the recommendation and choosing the minister for their own party, and PM decide who will be the member of Council of Ministers, and PM allocate ranks and portfolio to of these ministers. The Prime Minister is giving ranks and portfolio for these ministers, and depending upon the seniority and political importance, Prime Ministers given them rank of cabinet minister or minister of state or deputy minister. Suppose class some member MPs are very senior and their political importance were too much, so Prime Minister give them important posts like a finance minister, defense minister, etc. So these are the criteria. Suppose some members, some person is less important for the political party, so they take the lower like minister of state and deputy ministers. Okay, class, and this process will execute in the same in the state, because in the state similarly CM choose the Council of Ministers with the help of within their party. Okay, and the same process in the central government and the same process is the state government. If suppose any member become the member of Council of Ministers, any person who become the member of Council of Ministers and he is not an MP, then in this case it is compulsory that such a person take the seat, hold the seat or become the MP within 6 months. if someone become the minister or PM without, if any person who become the minister or PM without an MP, a person is not MP but he become the minister or prime minister, so such a person has got elected to within 6 months, 6 months के अंदर उसको इलेक्ट हो जाना चाहिए। अगर कोई ऐसा पर्सन प्राइम मिनिस्टर या कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर बनता है तो उसे विदिन 6 मंथ्स जो है इलेक्शन जीत करके MP बन जाना चाहिए। अदरवाइज देयर पोस्ट वाज वैकेंट। And class, there is no council of minister without prime minister, because class I want to introduce pictures from your book like this. In this cartoon from your NCERT book, if you are looking, read this cartoon and August 1954. This is a prime minister and these are the council of ministers, and this cartoon given the expression what is the importance of prime minister, and there is no council of minister without prime minister class. So the post of prime minister is very important. From the independence, if you are looking from the independence, Congress party was dominant, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, they are the very popular prime minister of Congress party, and from the independent, most of the time Congress party was in the majority, and the prime minister was basically come from the Congress party. But from 1989 the situation was changed. From 1989 there is no party in the majority, so the coalition, the concept of coalition will come, and from 1989 no party has a majority, so many political parties come together and make a government. So this tradition was take importance after 1989. Many political parties come together and make the government. So in such a situation the power of prime minister was erodes. Before 1989, when the PM was come from the majority of party like Congress during the era of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi, on that time prime minister was working with their full power. But during of era of coalition, the power of prime minister was erodes. Now he was forced to take the suggestion from the coalition party to run the government effectively. Class, the most important feature in the parliamentary executive is the executive was under the control of legislature. Class, from the 91st amendment, the number of ministers should not be exceed from 15% from the Lok Sabha. So this is because many times in the coalition government, the prime minister was extend their council of ministers beyond the limit to convince the coalition partners to give them important post of ministers. So that is why from 91st Amendment there is a strength of the Council of Minister was limited 15% of the total only. Class. Class Council of Ministers is responsible for their work against the legislature. If the Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister lose their confidence in the Parliament or in the Lok Sabha, it will force to give resignation. Means in the lack of confidence, they will not survive in the as a Prime Minister or Council of Ministers, because they have a need the confidence in the Council of Ministers. Class the collective responsibility. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers work on the principle of collective responsibility. It means if any one member class in the collective responsibility, if suppose for the work of any cabinet minister, if the people's or parliament was not happy with the work of a cabinet minister, so if they was criticizing and a cabinet minister was giving resign, it means the whole the team was responsible with. If no confidence was present against a single member of cabinet, it means forced to resign all the team. This is the principle of collective responsibility. At the same time, suppose any minister does not agree with the decision of cabinet. At the same time, class, suppose minister is not agree with the decision of the whole team, so he should be resigned or leave their post, because they work, the whole team work on the principle of collective responsibility. Plus, also the do you know also the Prime Minister have a very important place, okay, in this team. If the Prime Minister was giving resignation, it means keep the whole Council of Ministers automatically dissolved, because no Council of Ministers without Prime Minister. And similarly, in the case of death and other situations, there is no Prime Minister, it means no Council of Ministers. But class, suppose if the member in the Council of Ministers, suppose any one member is death or so in such case the Council of Ministers have a vacancy only, means new members will elect in this place. Means you are looking in this team, the Prime Minister is they have a very important privileges, but if the council on the Council of Ministers one member is death, so the vacancy was created only. So Prime Minister is very important in their team, the council. And one thing more, class, the Prime Minister is working the mediator between President and the Council of Ministers, because all the decision also functions and they related their informations were sent by the Prime Minister from Council of Minister to President. And same times Prime Minister work as a communicator between the President and Council of Minister. Class, the Prime Minister is working as a link between the President and the Council of Minister. This is between them, and the Prime Minister inform all the decision regarding Council of Minister and all the administration function of the Council of Minister will inform by the Prime Minister to the President class. Prime Minister is linked on one side to the President and on another side Council of Minister. It means the Prime Minister is linked to one side to the President, and same time Prime Minister is linked to the Council of Minister. And it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to inform all about the decision of the Council of Minister which was taken, and the administrative decision taken by the Council of Minister, and this will inform about these decision of Council of Minister by the Prime Minister to the President. Means all the working, their decision, their planning, their important thing will inform by the Prime Minister to the President class. And class, it is the constitutional obligation of the Prime Minister to inform all the important matter and decision of Council of Minister to President class. Prime Minister is involved in all the decision taken by the cabinet or the policy made by the cabinet nation. In this, Prime Minister is involved in all the policy making and all the decision making of cabinet class. The Prime Minister have a various responsibility. He is the leader of Lok Sabha, main leader of Lok Sabha. He was control over the Council of Minister, and he command over the bureaucratic machines, access to media, and suppose on the some occasion of as an international level, he represent our nations. Many times during the election, he was the role model of their political party. He was many times political parties present their Prime Minister as the face of and for the nation is the international level. Prime Minister is the personality of our country, represent our country, and Prime Minister is also deal the foreign affairs. Class, the power which was used by the Prime Minister is depend upon their political position. Suppose in the country one party in a majority, so their Prime Minister have a power, and we can say they are the soul, they have a ultimate power. But and he use everything according. Everything is going according to Prime Minister. But suppose in the case of coalition government, where many parties were come together for making government, in this case the Prime Minister have not fully powerful, because from the 1989 where no single party was able to make the government, the era of the coalition government, and in such a coalition, the condition of Prime Minister was very weak. He was not take all the responsibility as a prime minister, uh, because he was a weak prime minister, because he was depend upon their coalition, and before going to take any decision he consulted their coalition government. So he was not effectively work in the coalition government class for for a post for as a PM class. In the parliamentary form of government, PM have a need from the era of 1989, the coalition government. In this coalition, the power of the prime minister was reduced. They were not full their terms. Due to coalition nature of the politics, the growing the power and discretionary power of the there are some changes, like growing discretionary role of the president in selecting PM, because no party, not a one single party is capable to make the government in the coalition. The coalition will come in. So the role of the president was very important. He was using the president is using their discretionary power to select the prime minister. And the second thing, during the coalition era, consultation between the for any point, there is a need much more consultation between the different political parties who are making the coalition and making the government. So there is more consultation between the political parties in the coalition government. And the third thing, class restriction on the PM, due to the coalition nature of politics, there the prime minister is bound, and he was not taking every decision independently. There was a restriction on the PM, choosing of the minister and giving them what will be the rank and portfolio of this minister. Everything on such a decision, president was have a limited power. President was most of the time concerned to their coalition supportive political parties. Prime minister cannot take the decision independently. Class. So third is the restriction on the PM power to choosing the council of minister and their portfolio and ranks. The power of the prime minister is limited. They have a need to consult their supportive parties. Plus, the fourth thing, the policies and programs of the government cannot be decided alone by the prime minister. Policies and the program of the government is divided by consultation of their political partners. Prime minister cannot take the decision unilaterally alone. They have a need to consult their supportive or coalition partner for the what will the policy and the program of the government. Class, a governor which was appointed in the state by the president on the advice of council of minister. A governor is appointed in the state by the president on the advice of council of minister headed by the prime minister, and the same parliamentary executive is working in the state in the central government, and the state government have a governor, chief minister, and the council of ministers also. The same parliamentary function is working in the state government central government, and the governor is the have a more discretionary power to use their functions and duties class.